From the Weather NorCal Command Center, this is your afternoon update.
Ants Meats and Grocery is much more than a grocery store. We carry a full line of quality meats, local and organic vegetables, and a large variety of fish, Green Mountain Smart Control pellet grills, and a full deli case of sandwiches and side dishes.
Well, a quick reminder that there is a free Weather NorCal app. Everything offered on Weather NorCal can be done right or be viewed right from your phone, whether it's the video updates, the neighborhood forecast, the 24-hour streaming channel, and all the special programming. Just go to your app store, search for Weather NorCal, and download the app for free. I think you're going to like what you see. All right, take a look at what we've got going on in Elk Country. This is just north of Trinidad. Still some of the puddles left over, but really not much in the way of rain. We are seeing some light rain and patchy drizzle here that we'll see here really through the rest of the afternoon for really all of NorCal. You can see out in Crescent City, the Harbor District here, looking at a live shot here, looking at the overcast skies here. Looks like we are seeing some drying of the pavement, indicating that we're really not seeing much in the way of rain out on the coast, at least out in Crescent City at this point. Take a look at Lake Oroville. There you can see a lot of those low clouds, so those clouds are sticking around. It's going to be hard pressed to really clear things out here as we take you through the afternoon. Still have that wet pavement and most likely at least a little bit of drizzle and some light showers out there as well. All right, let's take a look at Trinity Center. Of course, you can't really see a whole lot here, just a lot of the low clouds, overcast skies. Still looking at the wet conditions up into Trinity Center, and we take you up to 6,700 feet out at the south entrance of the Lassen Park. Just another gorgeous sight. A lot of those low clouds still kind of hanging around. So rain not as heavy this afternoon. We did see the heavier rainfall kind of push through the early morning hours, but now we're just kind of left over with the clouds, some drizzle, and some light showers here. Now we're going to be looking at off and on rain through Saturday, but I do expect drier and warmer conditions Sunday into early next week. So here's kind of a look at the overall situation here. You've got a big area of low pressure, which is really what's going to be affecting our weather later. But what we've got right now is, number one, you see this little area, big area of low pressure that is spinning right here. It's still kind of tapping into some of this moisture, so we're seeing these clouds just kind of filter and move right through Northern California. Now, it's not a major disturbance, but it will be enough to keep the clouds in place and will be enough to give many of us drizzle and light showers throughout the afternoon today. Okay, we take a look at Futurecast, and there you can see through 5 p.m. Again, mainly the overcast skies. Could see some brief periods of moderate rainfall in some areas as these little cells pass through, but otherwise, mostly cloudy skies, passing showers and drizzle, and some of us may see a little bit of clearing later on today. Now we take you to tomorrow morning. Looks like we're going to see some of that fog really socked into the northern Sacramento Valley and even some of those inland and mountain valleys as well tomorrow morning and even through the morning hours. Here's through noon on Thursday. Still looks like we're going to see a lot of that fog in the valley, but that should start to dissipate. And we should see more in the way of some sunshine for the afternoon, just in time for more clouds and not to mention rain to move in here as we go into Thursday night and early Friday morning. This is midnight, Thursday night into Friday morning. There you can see the widespread rain and snow across the region. Snow levels around 5,000 feet and higher. So I do anticipate places like Mount Shasta to be in the form of rain, Bernie rain, not to mention most of Shingletown. But we could see at the very least a mix for Alturas, Susanville, Chester as well, and not to mention even the Quincy area. But of course, rain for Hayfork and Weaverville. Scott Mountain Pass may see some snow as well. Here's Friday morning at about 5 a.m. So again, we're still kind of getting into the bulk of some of that rain moving in. Now watch what happens as we go into Friday afternoon. You see how the bulk of the rain is now pushing up to the north. That's because high pressure is beginning to build in. And that is pushing the bulk of the rain up to our north. Now you can see as we go into Friday afternoon, once again, most of the rain, which is very light, is to the north and west, but most of it, as you can see, is kind of off the map here, going off into the Pacific Northwest. So looking at the long range here, this is what I was talking about, that ridge of high pressure building in, pushing the energy up to the north. What's going to happen is this is all going to shift to the east. Watch what happens as we go into Saturday. You see how it shifts to the east, and we're seeing that rain move through on Saturday, especially the first half of the day on Saturday. Then eventually what will happen is this ridge will build in stronger for Sunday into Monday. What that's going to do is take the atmospheric river that's now aimed towards central and southern California, and as that ridge builds, you can see that that moisture follows that jet stream. It follows the upper level wind pattern. So it tilts this all the way up here, really mainly into British Columbia. I mean, even parts of the Pacific Northwest, in particular Oregon, looking at dry conditions even on Sunday. But eventually, we are going to see that all shift eastward, and I'm expecting that sometime around Tuesday or Wednesday of next week, we will see the return of some more wet weather, and that could probably continue through the end of next week as well. So there, of course, you can see that. Now, another thing I want to point out, you see how tightly packed these lines are? What we call a tight pressure gradients when we look at these, what we call isobars. When they're tightly packed together like that, that means gusty winds. So we're going to have to watch for the potential for a wind event going in towards the end of next week. Of course, that's a long ways out. A lot can happen between now and then, but that's certainly a pattern I'm watching closely. There you can see we're not going to see a lot more rain on top of what we've already seen, at least through 5 p.m. on Friday. Now, we are going to be looking at, as I mentioned, more rain coming in on Saturday, so we'll probably tack more on from what we see. So again, anything we see the rest of the day today is going to be pretty light. All right, there you can see what we're looking at with the forecast snow totals, mainly above 5,000 feet. We could see traces of a mix out towards Alturas, Ayden, Chester, not to mention Susanville, and maybe even Quincy. But of course, those lower elevations below that, 3,000 feet, 3,500 feet, it's all in the form of rain. The wind gusts that we're seeing here today may still kind of be a little gusty, especially out towards Crescent City. Even for the valley, looking a little breezy here this afternoon and evening. But it looks like as we go into your Thursday, those winds start to die down, although still a bit breezy out towards Crescent City. And then on Friday, as the next system approaches, gusty winds again close to 30 miles per hour for Crescent City, 20 mile per hour range in Eureka. And there you can see for the midsections of Siskiyou County and particular Shasta Valley, looking at some gusty winds there as well, but doesn't look to be quite as bad for the valley. Looking at your wave heights, taking you into your Thursday, actually they start to increase a little bit before they start to decrease again, but a slight increase going into your Thursday. Here's a look at what it looks like today, temperature-wise, with temperatures in the low to mid 50s for the valley. Looks like in the mid to upper, really low to mid 40s, that is, for the higher elevations. Right around 50, give or take, for Trinity County. There you can see mid to upper 50s for the inland areas, and not to mention the coast. So let's take a look at your 7-day outlook for Mount Shasta. Notice I got snow levels 5,000 feet today, closer to 6,000 feet by the time we get into Friday, Saturday. As I mentioned, by Sunday, Monday, and quite possibly Tuesday, we are looking at dry conditions. That's the same situation for the valley, as those temperatures are going to increase as well. I mean, we're getting close to 70 degrees by the time we get into Sunday. And looking at your 7-day outlook for the North Coast, inland, and not to mention Trinity County, there's that break on Thursday. More showers, especially in the morning on Friday. And then it looks like as we go into Saturday, more showers drying out for Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday.